Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to practice latte at home without a machine. Now, what do we need? First, we need a French press, which you can get from Kmart for less than $10. Just get the cheapest one, it doesn't matter that much. Secondly, we need a cup. I highly recommend you to use a bigger and wider cup because it is easier for beginner to hold, and it is also easier for beginner to identify the area that you need to stop pouring. So the bigger, the better. A jug, again, you can get it from Kmart, less than $10. Most importantly, you need a chocolate shaker, and I highly recommend you to use the one with a very fine mesh on the top here, because we want a very thin layer of chocolate dust on the top. If you buy the one with bigger holes, then you would get a lot of chocolate on the top, which is easier for the milk to break through, making it very challenging to pour a latte out. If you can't find this, it is okay to use some coffee powder as well. Pro tip, the finer and the darker the coffee, the better. Also, we need some milk as well. Yeah, whatever milk you have, but it is easier to practice the latte art with full cream milk. Now, let's get started. First, we need to get the right amount of milk. How much milk do we need? Because my cup is a bit bigger, so I'm using half jug of milk. Yeah, if your cup is a bit smaller, use less than that. Now we're gonna heat up the milk. Now, how long should we heat up the milk for? It depends on your microwave. This microwave is not that strong, so I'm gonna heat it up for 1 minute. Now, what is the temperature that we are aiming for? So, the perfect temperature to practice latte art is between 55 to 60, right? However, I highly recommend you to make sure the milk is in between 55 to 65 when you use the microwave. Now, you don't want the milk to be hotter than that, because the milk and the froth get separated really quickly if the milk is too hot. And if the milk is way too cold, if it's below 50 degrees, for example, then it is very difficult to create the foam. Now, let's wait. Now, how do we measure the temperature? Most of the time, you should use, people use a thermometer, which you can get from Kmart as well. But if you don't have it, it is okay, just use your hand. So the perfect temperature for latte is the temperature which you can still touch it, but after like 2 or 3 seconds, you have to let it go. Let me show you what I mean. So this is the milk that I've just prepared. It is still okay, it is still safe to touch, but after a few seconds, you get that burning sensation, and you have to let it go. Now let's create the froth. Now you can't just do it randomly, right? This is how I highly recommend you to do it. First, you need to inject some bubbles, some foam in. So how are you going to do it? So you move the mesh here, the mesh of the French press, all the way to the top, yeah, over the surface, and then you push it down 5 times. Oops, I did it a bit too heavy. And you're aiming for 100% increase in volume, so maybe a bit more. That's it. Now you have a lot of froth. After that, you need to move the mesh to nearly the surface, and then you push it down 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you are breaking down all of the bubbles that you have injected into the milk. After that, I want you to break all of the bubbles on the top here. So I want you to move the mesh all the way above the milk, and then you push it down. 1, 2, 3. And now the milk is ready. And after that, you're going to transfer the milk into the jar. Now, if you see some bubbles on the top like this, yeah, it is okay. Don't worry too much, because we are going to do our next step, which is to polish the milk. Yeah. Now, how are we going to do it? So I want you to swirl the milk really well. So when you do this, all of the bubbles are flowing to the top. And after that, you bang it on the table twice. Yeah. Make sure you cover it with your palm as well. You don't want the bubbles to explode everywhere. And you do it a few times. Make sure you have that nice and smooth and silky texture. you see, after doing it a few times, now the milk is pretty silky. No visible bubbles on the top. This is what we need. Now let's get straight into it. Milk, chocolate, and then let's do a rosetta. Whoop. See? Pretty good milk. Now let's do swan. I would say this milk is better than a few coffee machines that I have used before. Swan. Whoop. Now let's try maybe tulip. Create the base. Another one. Yeah, pretty good. Oops. It's clean. It's a bit messy when you practice this way, but it's cheap, so. All right, let's do a hot then. Ooh. Lift and cut. Now, after practicing with this milk for a few times, the milk starts getting very flat. So what you need to do is very simple. You transfer it back into the French press, and then you repeat the steps that I showed you previously. So make sure that the volume doubles, woo, and then break down all of the bubbles, woo, 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 and then try to break all the bubbles on the top as well. Boom. Done. Transfer it. You remember what we need to do? We need to polish the milk, yeah? Swirl, boom, 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 swirl, boom, boom, boom. Now the milk is alive again, alive. All right, let's continue with our practice. You see? It's even better this time actually. That's it. Now let's try it again. Seriously, this milk is really good. So easy to practice with. Yeah? Wow. This milk is extremely easy to practice with. Whoa. Now let's try something crazy. Let's try something crazy. We'll create the base. Tulip, rosetta, body, neck, head. Woo! That's one. All right. Now, if you're bored with using chocolate, or if you don't have chocolate, it is okay to use coffee powder as well. This coffee is not so dark, so the definition is not going to be the best, but let's try. You see? It's still pretty good. Now, let's try it again. Let's see if we can do a swan with coffee dust as well. Ooh. It's a bit messy. All right, I wanna go back to using chocolate powder. It's just better definition, better contrast. Ooh, you see? This is the reason why I highly recommend you to use a chocolate shaker with fine mesh. Much better. You know what? This milk is old, right? Let's make it alive again. Whoo! 1, 2, 3. We want double the volume. That's it. Now, break down all of the bubbles, and then break all the bubbles on the top as well. Boom. Transfer. Let's keep going. Keep going. Seriously, with one bottle, we can go for the entire day. No problem at all. You see? we can go for the entire day. Let's do it again. Ooh, see? Now the milk is pretty cold already because today it's pretty cold as well. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna transfer it back into the French press. I'm gonna heat this up again, but I'm gonna do it for maybe 30 seconds only. That's it. And after that, I'm gonna make some extra froth, and then we'll be good for another 10 cups, I would say. 10 cups, but let's clean a little bit. Yeah, this is a very cheap way, very cost efficient way to practice latte at home, and it is very effective as well. All of my students are using this technique. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Go. Now let's transfer. And let's see if you can still do it. Swirl the milk. Now guys, if you only use, you see, the milk is still very good. It's even getting better actually. I like it. Seriously, if you get one bottle, you can go 4 hours, no problem at all. And if you only use chocolate, yeah, without using coffee powder, then you can actually drink it. I mean, if you want, you can actually drink it after you practice. You see, guess how many cups I have made? I think more than 10. I haven't counted, but yeah, I guess we have made a lot of coffees. And the milk is still very good. Now let me do it one last try, right? A lot of people say, oh, you can only practice basic design with this technique. Well, I disagree with that. Let me show you. All right, guys, how many cups of coffee have we made already? And how old do you think this milk is? To a lot of baristas, they would say, oh, this milk is way too old. We can't pour any complicated designs, yeah? Any advanced design. Now let me show you. Tulip, turn. It is completely possible to practice advanced latte with this milk, right? Now let me do something even more complicated. Maybe a seahorse. 1, 2, 3. Good. 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 Why not? Okay, let's go back to basic. Okay, I'm gonna do it one last time, okay? Let's do maybe wing tulip. Boom, the milk is still very good. And you know what? This milk can be used for another 10 minutes, no problem at all, yeah? So guys, I hope you have learned something today. And if you have any questions, just put it in the comment section and I will help you to answer, all right? Please give me a subscribe so that next time I can give you more of these videos. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye.